What do you see in the picture in the top right corner? Well, it's a pen. Most of us will see that and won't look any further. But a great detective did once say that we see, but don't observe. For instance, did you notice whether the pen was placed on the left or the right side of the table? Was the pen aligned neatly with an edge of a desk, or placed carelessly? The space that we inhabit carries a vast amount of information, and a skilled observer can tell you a lot about a person based just on the contents of their space. But up until now, we haven't really figured out how we organize the objects in our spaces that we do. Well, here's where my role as a space detective comes in. I wanted to figure out whether the way that we organize a space can also tell us something interesting about human behavior. So I started digging for clues. Well, a common assumption we have is that we organize our space in order to make our lives easier. Why get up and go to the kitchen for a cup of tea when you can simply bring that teapot closer to you, right? So I wanted to test this exact assumption. I made an experiment where individuals had to use and arrange objects multiple times in a study. Importantly, some of these objects were used far more often than others. So to reduce effort, you would be moving those frequently used objects closer to you. But that's not what we found. Well, not exactly. While effort did seem to influence the way that we organized our objects, we didn't expect to find a second culprit. That is, a competing tendency where individuals tended to put the same objects back into the same locations. Sometimes, even when doing so, made it more effortful. So what does this tell us? Well, we're lazy and we're creatures of habit. Well, the investigation is not quite over yet. Now that we understand how we organize our space, it's time to figure out the consequences of our actions. For example, by putting the same things in the same spots, we might be expending more effort, but one of the potential benefits is that we'll always remember where we put our things, right? And that's where my investigation will take me next. So the space we inhabit might seem mundane at first, but it's full of wisdom hiding in plain sight. And it's up to space detectives like me to figure out next what lurks beneath. And if you'll excuse me, I need to go find my pen.